Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Fourth for Girl Show. I'm Ricardo.
I'm Michelle.
And today we're going to talk about our favorite quotes.
Yay.
Yay.
I love this topic because I've
I,
got some good ones.
I do too. And make sure you comment down below. Let us know what your favorite quotes are, and maybe we can talk about them live on the show. So let's start off with the number one quote that gets quoted by the quoters here on this particular show. Be where your feet are.
It's my favorite, clearly. Um 48 years I went without a tattoo, and I love this quote so much that I got it tattooed on my foot. So,
On your foot.
on my foot.
On your foot. Take a
Be
picture
where
of
my
it.
feet are. Okay.
Take a picture of it because I know you can't put your foot all the way up to your head.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's see.
Here's
Whoa,
Can you see it?
we see it. Be where your feet are. On your foot.
I love it because it reminds me, and that was the intent behind getting that tattooed on my foot, is if I'm sitting at the coffee table, yes, I put my feet on the coffee table, or outside, or sitting at the pool, or whatever, and I see it, and it reminds me every time I look at it to be where my feet are, to be present. I love that quote.
Yeah, I got to ask because I know everyone's wondering, just real quick, how did that feel getting that on your foot?
It was a little bit painful,
Just
not
a
gonna
little bit?
lie,
Just
a
a
little
little
bit.
bit.
It felt like a knife carving in my foot. But it didn't last long, and it was worth it. I would do it again.
So what advice do you give? What advice can you give someone to be where their feet are?
Just to really be aware and be present. So we miss so much of life because we get so busy and so wrapped up in the things that we're doing. We can do things and we can be productive and be efficient and work or, whatever, but there's so much of life that we miss just because our heads are so wrapped up in the tasks and the activity, and we don't pay attention to the moment. And so, I mean, just even, driving down the road, there's trees, there's so many things that we're passing by that we get that highway hypnosis and we don't even notice. Or there's so many things that if we're aware and we are where our feet are, there's so much beauty to life that we can soak in and take in that just makes life so much sweeter than if we're just busy and ignoring everything around us.
Boom. Mic drop. All right. The next quote is by one of my favorite people, Oprah. When you don't know what to do nothing. Wow.
I love that quote too so much.
Here's what I like about it is I think, especially in the self-development space, that we get into this space, this headspace, that we always have to be doing something, that we
Mhm.
always have to be doing something, one thing after another. And if you're not being busy, quote unquote, busy, that you're not being productive, that you always have
Yeah.
to be moving and grooving and stay busy.
Yeah.
And that's why I love this, because sometimes we don't know what to do, but we find stuff to do just to stay busy.
Yes.
And this is just solid advice. When you don't know what to do
Do nothing.
nothing.
To me, what I love about this quote so much and why it resonated with me when I heard it is so many times we don't know the right path to go. We don't know the right decision. We might be faced with, do I do this or do I do that? So often, and we have that confusion in our minds. But if we will take a minute or a day or however long it takes and do nothing, the answer will come to us. To me, I pray about it, and the answer comes every single time if I'll just stop and pause and let the answer come. And then you know the right answer because you feel it. You feel peace about it. But sometimes, you might have a career decision to make, you might have a relationship decision to make, and there's so much emotion in it that it's confusing and you don't know the right answer, you don't know what to do. So do nothing. Take some time, and then the answer will come to you and you'll feel peace about it. And it's helped me so much. I used to hate making decisions, and now I don't. It doesn't bother me at all. I can make decisions. I'm very confident in my decisions because I do this. I wait. If I don't know the answer, I wait for the answer. And so I'm very confident in my decisions now, and I feel peace about them most of the time. Not always, but most of the time.
Hey, most of the time it's better than none of the time.
Yes.
And also, sitting with yourself is one of the best things you can do for yourself.
Yes.
Sitting with your feelings, sitting with your emotions, sitting with whatever is going on and bubbling up is one of the best things you can do with yourself. So,
Yes.
so while you think you're doing nothing, you're doing one of the most important things and best things that you can actually do.
Yeah.
Ooh. All
You're
right.
never really doing nothing.
You're never really doing nothing. For those of you just tuning in, Michelle and I are talking about our favorite quotes. Comment down below. Let us know what your favorite quotes are or what your thoughts are on the quotes that we are discussing. All right, the next one. This is a powerhouse. This comes from one of my favorite teachers, mentors, just all around the philosopher, Mr. Jim Rohn. Oh, it's not John Rohn. I don't know why I put John. Let me go fix that right quick because we can't go out like that with Mr. Jim Rohn. So fixing that live. Mr. Jim Rohn, never wish life was easier. Wish you were better. Wow. So
That's great.
simple.
Yeah.
So simple.
Yeah.
How many times do we sit around wishing, man, I wish it was easier. I wish it was easier. I wish this was
Mhm.
easier. Oh, that is too hard. Ooh, no. That's your opportunity to step up to the plate and be better.
Yeah. And grow.
Show
That's
your
where I've grown the most is in the hard times. You grow so much more in the hard times. And so if you can take a step back and recognize that when you're going through something difficult, it's not fun. You don't welcome it, but it's when you grow the most. It's how you become who you're meant to be.
Yeah. Can you imagine how boring life would be if everything was just so easy
Oh yeah.
and everything just came to you just automatically and you didn't have to work for nothing?
Totally boring.
You would never be better.
Right.
You would never be better. So the fact that life is not easy, you take that as an opportunity to grow, as a challenge to step up and become a better person than you were before you started embarking on that journey.
Yes.
And never sit there and wish it was easier.
Yep.
Never complain about it being too hard. The better question to ask is, what can I do to be better? What can I do to step up to this? What do I need to change about myself in order to get this done instead of trying to control something that's outside of me?
Yep.
Because you can't control it if it's outside of you.
And
It is what it is.
what can you learn from this? What can you learn from this moment to make you
Yep.
better for the future?
Yep. It's powerful. So just remember, never wish life was easier. Wish that you were better.
Better.
Boom. All right. Let's see here. Success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. Mr. Tony Robbins. Ooh.
Such truth. And you see that with so many, I mean, Robin Williams as an example. You know what I mean? He had the most, I mean, people loved him. He had love, he had fans, he had an incredibly successful career, he had a beautiful family, he had everything, but he didn't have fulfillment within himself. And he committed suicide. And you see so many people, I've seen it through my whole life, people that on the outside look successful according to the world's definition of success, but they're not fulfilled and they're miserable. And then you see people who are not successful according to the world's definition who are happy. So, really, that fulfillment is what you should seek over success. And when you're fulfilled, you're successful.
Yep. And I think it's important to define success on your own terms. You got you got to define success on your own terms. What do you
Yep.
think about defining success on your own terms?
Um, well, success is different for everybody. You know, what successful means to me, successful in terms of fulfillment. There's a definition of success out there in the world. That's to me, I've learned the hard way because I chased that for a long time. It's not success, in my opinion, anymore. That fulfillment is. And fulfillment, success fulfillment slash success means something different for everybody. It's, you know, the gifts that God's given you, the things that make you happy is different for everyone. And so defining success for yourself is super important because you're not going to find fulfillment until you do.
Correct. And defining your own success is huge.
Hmm.
That's the biggest thing. I think
Yeah.
we get stuck in this trap of, well, Michelle is doing this and that's what I want, or
Yeah.
Ricardo's doing that, or Jim John Joan Paul Smith is doing this, that, and the other, and that's what success means. No,
Comparison.
no,
Here's a quote that just ties into that. That's not on our list, but comparison is the thief of joy. Is that what it is?
that's close enough.
Yeah. So that whenever you start comparing yourself to other people based on what the world says success is, that just it steals your joy.
It really does. It really does. So make sure you define success on your own terms, and then you'll be truly fulfilled, not on the terms on somebody else. We
Yeah.
don't want the ultimate failure. We want the ultimate success, and that's the success on your own terms. Oh man, this one's a powerhouse too. Um, I love this lady, and I don't say that very lightly. We had the opportunity to see her live in person when she came to Dallas one time right before she passed away, and it was phenomenal. Her energy, her presence, when she just sits there and you're sitting in front of her, you're like, wow. It's like your grandma sitting next to the campfire telling a story, and she would laugh and she would tell her stories, and just the focus that she demanded and the respect that she demanded. Ah, it was awe-inspiring to say the least. It was just to say the least. I get chills just thinking about it. Miss Maya Angelou, or Mother Maya Angelou, if you will. If you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude.
That's so great too.
Yeah,
So
you got
great.
yeah, because we can't change it sometimes.
Yeah.
But what's the one thing that we have control over?
Our attitude,
Our attitude.
what we think, what we feel, what we believe about
Correct.
the situation. We
Correct.
always have control over that. It's a
It,
choice.
it is. It is a choice, and sometimes you can't change it.
Yeah,
Sometimes you don't like it.
one of the things that I have used so many times in that regard, whenever I can't change something but I don't like it, is the serenity prayer. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. And it it's just bringing awareness to the fact you can't change it. So what's the point in letting it destroy you, or just what's the point in letting it tear you down or steal your joy?
I'll go out on a limb and say the majority of things that happen in your life, you have no control over them.
On the outside.
On the outside,
Yeah.
correct. But you do have 110% control over your attitude.
Yes.
That's the only thing you can control 24/7 in every situation, every circumstance, anything and everything that happens to you. You have to take 100% responsibility for your attitude.
Yep. The other thing I love about this quote is if you don't like something, change it. And that's so empowering because you can. So many things in your life you can change. You can change. So there's so many things outside that you can't. But let's say you're miserable in a relationship or you're miserable in your job. Step up, take personal responsibility for that existing in your life and change it. Make the changes. Either change your attitude about it so that you can be happy, or change it. You're not stuck. That was something I learned the hard way. I've always felt like life was happening to me. Another quote, it's happening for me.
Yes.
There's so many. But whenever I finally realized that if I didn't like my finances or whatever it was, I have the power to change that.
Correct.
But it's up to me to do it. And
Correct.
it's so empowering to know that when you take that personal responsibility, it's very empowering.
And sometimes you have to change your attitude before you can actually change the situation.
Oh yeah, almost always.
Yeah. Yeah. So, there's other times where you just make that change out of anger, frustration, or whatever it is. which is not the best attitude to make decisions out of. But if that's what it takes for you to fill your pot of steaming hot water to make that change, it is what it is. But you also have to change your attitude before you dictate that change. Whew, we're on the roll, Michelle Martini. All right, we got one more here. I love this one. I've heard this one before, but I've never really paid attention to it until you brought it up this morning. Stop stopping yourself.
Yeah. I love that.
What does this mean to you?
Oh my goodness. Pretty much anytime we are not living the life that we want to live, we are stopping ourselves from having that. And stop doing that. Just stop. It's like, again, personal responsibility. Take personal responsibility. Take it, just stop stopping yourself. We stop ourselves from being healthy. We stop ourselves, and it's all choices. Like, it is all choices that we make every single day, all day, every day. And we stop ourselves from having what we want whenever. And if we'll just stop doing that, we can live a fulfilled life.
So freaking simple. 3 simple words,
Yeah.
y'all. 3
Stop.
simple words can change your freaking life.
Yeah.
Stop stopping yourself.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't get more simple than this.
Mm-mm.
I think this is one of the most powerful and shortest quotes out there. Stop stopping yourself, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Like, just stop it.
Just
like,
stop.
Just stop it. Like, whatever limiting belief that you have about yourself, about whatever it is that you're trying to do, stop it.
Yep.
Because you're stopping yourself. What is the other one? You're your own worst enemy.
Yeah.
In most cases, you are your own worst enemy. So in order to reverse that, right? Stop.
Reverse our word of the week.
Our word of the week. Stop stopping yourself. It's really that simple. 3 simple words.
Yeah.
3 simple words that can really change your life if you adopt this, if you live by this, if you remind yourself of this, write it on the walls, write it on your journals, make it your background screensaver, whatever you have to do. Stop stopping yourself. Doesn't get much easier than that. Right? Man, This was such a good topic. We should do this every once in a while where we bring up our favorite quotes and stuff like that and just discuss them and go into depth and just share the knowledge of everyone who's learned stuff from it, right?
Yes, and the thing that I love about quotes, they can be surface, but to me, I keep a list. Like, if I hear one that resonates with me, I put it on my list, because quotes are reminders. Be where your feet are. It's a quote that reminds you. It's just, and when you have it up on your wall or on your bathroom mirror or on your foot, like I have, be where your feet are, it's a constant reminder. They're short little constant reminders to do these little things that have a compound effect over time that make your life better. And so that's why I love quotes, because of that.
We got one more quote here from our friend at the Boys and Girls Club of Cedar Creek. Our Boys and Girls Club, I say, we've been working with them, and we have a big project coming up with them that we'll be talking about shortly. Sometimes the smallest things take up the most room in your heart. Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, I love that. And I love Winnie the Pooh.
Love Winnie the Pooh.
That's so good.
Yeah, sometimes the smallest things take up the most room in your heart. Man, Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah. That can be good and it can be bad. You know
Correct.
what I mean? You can have small things that take up so much room in your heart that fill you with gratitude. Just little things, little tiny things, something someone did for you, small things. And that's a good way, but you also let your heart be filled by some of the tiny things that don't really matter all that much. And so that could be good and bad.
She says, Winnie the Pooh is real. He's real. Winnie the Pooh be coming out with the hard stuff. And yeah, Cedar Springs Boys and Girls Club. I don't even remember the name of the location because we just go there. We set the car to the Boys and Girls Club, and that's where we go. We go over to Cedar Springs Boys and Girls Club, 4401 Brown Street. See, I know the address off the top of my head. But we do have a big project with them, a school supply fundraiser that we're going to be doing, and we'll be talking more about that on future episodes. Well, that's all the time that we have for today, Michelle Martini. This was good.
It was fun.
Great
Yeah.
conversation. Make sure you visit forceforgrowth.com and subscribe to the audio version. Go to our YouTube channel and subscribe over there, or just tune in live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday around 9 a.m. Central Standard Time or Texas time.
Texas time.
Texas time. Have a great day, everybody, and we'll be back on Monday with the word of the week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.